From Upper St. Clair High School tonight, the 2015 Penn Hills Indians football season will get underway. A very pleasant good evening to you once again. This is Bill Navari bringing you all the football action tonight for the Penn Hills Indians. The Indians, the defending Southeast Conference champions, will come on tonight to defend their title for this season. Indians not getting a lot of love in preseason polls, and you know what? That's fine. Gives the Indians something to prove. It's easier to go up. It's a lot harder to stay there once you are up top. Indians captains are on the field. Billy Kisner, Tyler Glanton, Jason Alston, and number 12, Malik Mathis. Upper St. Clair sends out one captain. They win the toss, but they defer. So the Indians will get the ball to start things off here at Upper St. Clair. The Indian offense led by number 3, Billy Kisner. Indians will come out in their traditional jet offense. Not a lot of changes from last season, but the coaches say they threw a couple of new quirks in. Indian cheerleaders all pumped, ready to go tonight. And a beautiful night for football here in Western Pennsylvania. Game being televised on 22 The Point. And we'd also like to say a special hello to those of you around the world watching the games tonight on YouTube. Special hello to our friend in Italy, Filippo Crotta, the Penn Hills graduate in 2007. Enjoys watching our games on YouTube. Glad to have you along, Filippo. Kisner and Mathis back for the Indians deep. Is Malik going by Malik or Henton this year? I still like the Henton, because when you say Henton, you know who you're talking about. No, I'm telling you. I think it's a classic name. And we are underway. Upper St. Clair will kick it towards Kisner. He'll take it at the 4-yard line. Kisner across the 15, looks for somewhere to go. Sees a lot of Upper St. Clair Panthers. And he'll get out to the 20-yard line. Kind of came out a little slowly there. Didn't quite accelerate. I guess he was looking for the hole and some blockers, which just didn't seem to develop. But it was a 16-yard return out to the 20-yard line, and that's where the Indian offense will get underway. Kisner will be the quarterback from the shotgun. Joining him in the backfield is Emil Frazier. Noah Dipko in the slot to the right. And it'll be Frazier with the first carry of the game. He'll pick up about 4 yards, get close to the 25-yard line. We'll give him 5 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd down and 5 for the Indians. Indians in the gold helmets, white jerseys, red pants. Upper St. Clair decked out in all black. They don't have their traditional paw print on their helmets, do the Upper St. Clair Panthers. The Indians do have their spear. Kisner will keep it himself. Look for somewhere to go. Sees a lot of black. Tries to get to the outside and does. Manages to turn nothing into something. A pickup of about 4. And Kisner will give the Indians a 3rd down and 1. He gets pushed out of bounds. And the Indians go quickly to the line. It's not a hurry up. It's a no huddle, which doesn't give the defense time for substitutions. Frazier hit in the backfield, looks for somewhere to go, and he'll be stacked up, and it looks like we'll call it no gain. And it'll bring up a 4th down for the Indians. And Noah Dipko will drop back to punt. Mathis will snap. Frazier comes in motion this way. Dipko with a nice high kick. will hit at the 36-yard line and will bounce laterally, go out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Nice kick for Dipko. Indians go 3 and out. Upper St. Clair will take over at their own 35-yard line with 10:31 to go here in quarter number 1. Their first opportunity this season with the offense. Upper St. Clair fumbles a snap. Still able to get the handoff. To Thomas Visman. Picked up about 6. Tackle on the play by Darryl Holloway. Jackson Geisler, quarterback for Upper St. Clair. Able to grab a handle of the snap. Looked like he may have gone down on his knee whenever he was picking that up. But apparently not, because the officials didn't call it. And a penalty flag comes in. Looks like the Indians may have jumped off sides. Little neutral zone infraction. I hate that call. That automatic call whenever you break the neutral zone. I'm talking about these games lasting too long. When you keep making plays, let the guys get back. Keep the clock running. Nonetheless, it gives the Upper St. Clair Panthers a first down at their own 46-yard line. And Upper St. Clair looks like we'll call it a loss of a yard. And it'll be second down and 11. Host of Indians jumping in on that defensive line.
Second and 11.
This one again, hit in the backfield, gets away. Able to pick up about 5 yards before being brought down by Miles Eanes. Again on the ground. Pick up about 3. Visman with the carry. Billy Jones with the tackle. And I'll bring up a third down. We'll call it 4. Kyle Miner back to punt for the Panthers. Kisner and Mathis back for the Indians. High snap, no rush by the Indians. They're setting up for the return. Short kick towards Kisner. He'll call for the fair catch and make it at the 13-yard line. 7:36 to go, first quarter. We are scoreless. Penn Hills, Upper St. Clair. You are watching the Penn Hills Indians Football Network. Kisner looks like changing the play calls. He walks left to right. Mathis will come on the jet this way. Finds a little crack in the line. Gets across the 15-yard line. Fights his way out to the 19. A pickup of about 6 for Henton Mathis.
Brought down by Eli Drake along with Kevin Chris's.
Squires and Mathis split out to the left. Dipko and Julian Major to the near side. Tim Smith behind Kisner. Smith has some speed. Keep your eye on him on a swing pass. Kisner looks, throws down the field. Has Squires able to hold on to it with a man all over him. We'll get the first down for the Indians at the 27-yard line. Pickup of 8. Nice job by Rick Squires to hold on to that football. He had a man all over him. Timmy Smith with a burst across the 30 out to the 35-yard line. Smith will pick up another 8 yards for the Indians. Now the Indian offense starting to click a little bit here. Vaughn Flodine, the center. Got to give a little love to the offensive line. Tyler Glanton, the guard to the right. That's Henderson, the right tackle. Kisner looks for somewhere to go on the quarterback keeper and goes nowhere. We'll lose 2 yards. So we mentioned Tyler Glanton and Jordan Henderson on the right side of the offensive line. Left side of the line, the left guard is Joshua Oakley, and the left tackle is Jason Alston. I think we got everybody. Julian Major split off to the left. Tim Smith deep in the eye behind Kisner, and Kisner will keep it. And Billy fights his way out across the 39-yard line, close to the 40. We'll give the Indians a first down. Clock running, approaching 5 minutes to go here in quarter number 1. Still scoreless. Penn Hills, Upper St. Clair. Kisner, straight drop, looking downfield, throwing. Has a man towards Julian Major. And Major able to get a hand on it. But so did the Upper St. Clair Panthers' Connor Brennan. Bats it away and pass incomplete. And it'll bring up a second down and 10 for the Indians.
Connor Brennan. Second down for the Indians.
Mathis, jet sweep this way, looking for somewhere to go. Gets across the 40, spins ahead out to the 43-yard line. Mathis picks up 3. It's a matter of time before that kid breaks one. Dipko will split way off to the left, along with Squires and Mathis. Majors and Smith this way. It'll be Smith going to the left, and it'll be Kisner. Quarterback draw towards the 50, gets in Upper St. Clair territory, dragged out of bounds at the Upper St. Clair 47-yard line. A pickup of 10. And a first down for the Indians in Upper St. Clair territory. First foray across the for either team. Apparently some schools in a rain delay tonight. Just getting that from John Fedko and Skylights. Kisner, I'm not sure if that was designed to be a keeper, but he'll pick up a couple. How about that? It doesn't look like any rain heading this way, but Smith loses the football. Kisner sees it. Will he fall in a no? Upper St. Clair has it at the 46-yard line. Upper St. Clair catches the first break of the night. Because the Indians were moving. Visman looks for somewhere to go, tries to get to the outside and does. Across the 50 in Penn Hills territory. Pushed out of bounds by Darryl Holloway at the Penn Hills 44, picks up 9. Upper St. Clair will throw in a pass, batted down. Alston got the paw up. Or it was Miles Eanes, not sure, but the pass was batted. Third and 1 for Upper St. Clair. Look for Visman. And that's who it'll be. And they'll be stacked up in the backfield and hit for a loss. I think it was Malik Menard that got in there. It was Malik Menard that got in, submarined him. We'll drop him for a loss of 2. And it'll be 4th down and 3 for Upper St. Clair. Looks like they're going to bring the punt team on. Hope the Indians are, I don't know about dropping 2 guys back. I'd drop 1 and watch and play for the fake. Low snap. Upper St. Clair does indeed kick it. Again towards Kisner. Penalty flag comes flying in, and the Indians let it go into the end zone for a touchback. And let's see what the penalty is.
Penn Hills will take over on their own 20-yard line. Penalty flag.
You see the penalty call? Well, we'll take a timeout here. 1:46 to go, first quarter. We are scoreless. Penn Hills, Upper St. Clair, here on the Penn Hills Indians Football Network. Emil Frazier goes into the line for nothing, it appears. By the way, the Indians blocking it back on the return was the penalty. That's why the Indians have the ball at the 10 and not the 20 following the touchback. Frazier again. No, Kisner looks it this way. Was going to throw, tucks it back in. Nice block by Mathis to spring. Kisner up across the 20 to the 23-yard line. Oh, my. Mathis came back, threw a block, and sent Billy up the sideline. He needs to have a first down after pickup of 13. Gotta love that one. Billy needs to go over and pat Hinton on his back for that one. Mathis just turned around and just leveled a Panther. And the Indians with a first down at the 23. It's called team football. Kisner again looking downfield, looking, throws. And a pass too low and too far for Squires.
Intended for Rick Squires, goes incomplete.
And the Indians looking at a second down and 10. Oh, Frazier fighting his way. Took a licking, kept on ticking, and got his way up to the 27-yard line. Picks up 4. It'll be third down and 6. Let's see if somebody called timeout here. I believe the Indians called timeout. I know John Peterman's out on the field saying something to the officials. Did they not spot the ball right? Or there's a penalty flag on the far side of the field. And officials say Rick Squires broke the neutral zone. Usually on that one, when a receiver goes out, the officials will tell him to step back. So the Indians looking at a third and 10. Kisner under pressure, loses the football and falls right on it. And he'll lose 3 yards.
Penalty flag on the play.
Another penalty flag.
That's the end of the first quarter.
Gunner Lund just broke right in on Kisner. I guess there is no penalty flag? No. Well, that'll do it. After 1, we are scoreless. Penn Hills, Upper St. Clair. You are watching the Penn Hills Indians Football Network.
Number 24, Noah Dipko back.
Dipko back for the Indians. High snap. Dipko, nice job to get it. Pulls it down and puts a high punt. I think that one might bring rain. Fair catch made, or called for and made at the 48-yard line by the Panthers' Kevin Chris. Upper St. Clair will take over at their own 48-yard line. What are they going to mark them? At the 49-yard line. With 11:51 to go in the half. And around, and nothing doing there. Kevin Chris tries to go on the left side, but Miles Eanes will drop him for no gain.
Tackled by Donovan Mays. Second and 11.
Donovan Baines also in on the tackle. And it looks like Upper St. Clair may have moved just a little early.
Upper St. Clair ball, second down and 16.
Second down 16 for the Panthers. Looks like he moved early again. Haynes with the pressure to pass too far to the outside. Incomplete. Miles has just been playing possessed defensively here so far. Now third down and 16 for the Panthers.
Third and 16 for the Panthers.
Upper St. Clair to throw under pressure. It'll be sacked back at the 40-yard line. Who else? Miles Haynes with the sack. Donovan Baines also in. And Upper St. Clair will punt. Let's see if the Indians can finally return one here. They keep kicking to Kisner, which I'm surprised. But then again, if they kick to Mathis, they may be surprised. High snap. Mathis. And around to Kisner, and he goes nowhere. So the Indians will take over, 9:54 to go here in the half. Ball at their own 23-yard line.
Nick Luria on the tackle for the Panthers. First and 10, Virginia.
Kisner with an empty set. Be Smith this way, looking for some blocks. Fights his way across the 25 to the 27-yard line, gets maybe 3 yards. And the Indians will be looking at a second down and about 7. Indians just haven't seemed like they've been able to get into that high gear so far.
Second and 7.
Of course, they are playing a good football team, too. That may have something to do with it. Kisner keeps it himself. Dives across the 30 to the maybe 31-yard line. We'll give him 4 yards. And it'll be third down and 3. Kisner fakes to Mathis, keeps it himself, gets the first down at the 35-yard line. Picks up 4. Indians move the chains. Smith takes a handoff, bobbles it, but holds on to the football. Able to pick up 3 yards.
Gunnar Lund in on the tackle along with Eli Great for St. Clair. 2nd and 7.
Kisner, swing pass right side. Oh, and loses the football up in the air. That should be an incomplete pass. They do call it an incomplete pass. Took them a long time. They let that play go up.
Pass is moving complete intended for Neil Fraser.
Indian cheerleaders getting into it here. This is great. Kisner under pressure, gets away from one man, has a little bit of room to run. Kisner across the 45, the 50, still on his feet. Billy Kisner, shake and bake across the 40 down to the upper St. Clair 37-yard line. 25 yards for Kisner. And Indians move into upper St. Clair territory. Somebody's mouthpiece come flying back, or was it an earpiece? Frazier bobbled it when he first got the ball, was able to hold on to it and still pick up a couple. Similar to what Tim Smith did. I wonder if it's something in the handoff. Indians getting themselves set. 6 seconds on the play clock. Mathis this way. Kisner, quarterback sweep. Gets submarined for maybe a yard, after maybe a yard. Needs a look at 3rd and about 7.
Tripped up by Tom Bismarck for Upper St. Clair. 3rd down and 7.
Kisner, launch you one. Down the sideline towards Major. Up and over. Does he hold on to it? Yes, he does. Julian Major at the 7-yard line. Oh, my. What a catch by Major. First and goal for the Indians. He just went up and over that defensive back and hauled it in. What a catch by the sophomore, Julian Major. Mathis gets submarined by Visman in the background. Will go down at the 14-yard line. Lose 7 on the play.
Mathis brought down by Thomas Bismarck for St. Clair. 2nd and 15.
Clock under 5 minutes and running here in the first half. We're still scoreless. Indians with a 2nd and goal from the 14-yard line. Kisner throws over the middle. Too high for Major, who slammed down after the ball went by. Looked a little unnecessary, but this is football, folks. And the Indians now with a 3rd and goal. I think if you're the Indians, you got 3 timeouts left right now. I think it's time to use one. Talk it over. You want to at least get something here, because if you don't get into the end zone, maybe set yourself up for a field goal. Frazier behind Kisner. Kisner rolls to his right, has Squires wide open in the corner of the end zone and decides to keep it himself. Rick Squires was standing all alone in the black paint on the right side, and Kisner didn't see him. Kisner will get down to the 5-yard line. Picks up 9, 4th and goal now for the Indians. Oh my. That was just a little lob it right over to him. 6 points Indians. I mean, there was nobody within 10 yards of Rick Squires. And the Indians wisely will use a timeout and talk things over. 3:41 to go first half. We are scoreless. Penn Hills Upper St. Clair. The Indians knocking on the door with a 4th and goal at the 6-yard line. You are watching the Penn Hills Indians Football Network. Here we go. Dipko to try a 23-yard field goal. And he misses it to the right. So with 3:35 to go in the first half, Upper St. Clair will take over at their own 20-yard line.
The Upper St. Clair girls tennis team currently has a record of 5 wins and 1 loss under third-year coach Renee Russell. They recently defeated Swiftly Academy and Trinity 5 games to 0. They look to continue to Oxford next Wednesday.
Upper St. Clair coming into the line at the 20-yard line following the Indians' missed field goal attempt. Bisman across the 20 to 25, has some blockers, has a first down for Upper St. Clair. Gets knocked out of bounds, flies over the Upper St. Clair bench. But has a first down after pick up a 15. Mathis pushes him out of bounds.
First down, Upper St. Clair.
And the Indian defense will need to stop here because you can't march the ball down the field, miss a field goal, and let them come back and score. Bisman again. Across the 40 to the 43-yard line. Tyler Blue and Miles Eanes on the tackle for the Indians. It's like the Indian right now, the Indians defense a little deflated. Give up 23 yards on 2 consecutive runs. Panthers will throw. Launchy one down the field. Has a man behind the defense in the pass too far. Gunnar Lund was there. Azarius Britt on the coverage. Upper St. Clair now with a 3rd and 2. You know, that's what you do on a 2nd down and short. You throw the ball deep. You know, you go for something. Now you come back with a makeable 3rd down. Now it'll be up to the Indians' defense to come up big here. Clock stopped with 2:40 to go in the first half. Visman will have the 1st down and more in Penn Hills territory across the 50. Breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, still on his feet. Finally, Miles Eanes will knock him out of bounds at the Penn Hills 34-yard line after a pickup of 23 yards. And another 1st down for the Upper St. Clair Panthers. Up back with a nice carry across the 20. Down to the 16-yard line. 18 yards for Dom Felino. Azarius Britt finally brings him down. And now Upper St. Clair knocking on the door. Deepest penetration tonight for the Panthers. Felino again, goes nowhere. Malik Menard with the tackle, loss of 1.
Second down, 11.
Visman finally brought down after breaking a couple of tackles. Finally, Thomas Mitchell will drop him, no gain. And it'll be 3rd down and, well, I did lose a yard, 3rd down and 12. Upper St. Clair Panthers will use a timeout, 1:25 to go here. First half, we are scoreless with the Panthers knocking on the door. You're watching the Penn Hills Indians Football Network. Third down and 12 for the Panthers at the Indians' 18-yard line. They will throw pass underneath the Visman. Inside the 10, down to the 5-yard line. Where are they going to mark him? It may be 1st and goal. They're going to mark him at the 5. And it's going to be a 1st and goal at the 5-yard line. Needed 12, got 13. That's 1st and goal Panthers. Quarterback keeper, nothing doing there. A little bit of punishment. Donovan Baines with the exclamation point on the tackle as Gunnar Lund goes down hard. Upper St. Clair will use their 2nd timeout with 45 seconds to go here in the half. Upper St. Clair knocking on the door, scoreless. Penn Hills, Upper St. Clair. You're watching the Penn Hills Indians Football Network. 2nd down and goal, Panthers at the 5-yard line. London at quarterback. He'll keep it himself. And again, no gain. I mean, Visman's been running all over the Indians, and now they're trying to go quarterback keeper with Lund. Going to be third and goal. Miles Eames with the tackle, rolling under 30 seconds to go. Now, do you throw here on third down? If it's incomplete, you stop the clock. You still have a timeout left, though, so you can run. You got 2 plays here. They can just try to kick a field goal. I mean, you got timeouts left. Run a play for crying out loud, and then try to then call a timeout if you don't get it in. Upper St. Clair is going to try the field goal. 1.8 seconds to go here in the first half. 23-yarder is up, and they miss it with no time left. Penalty flag is on the play. What do we got here? If it's against Upper St. Clair, the half is over. Looks like it's going to be against the Indians, which gives them another try. And John Peterman is not happy. Upper St. Clair will try it. Now a 20-yarder. So I guess one's going to go against Upper St. Clair. This is a comedy of errors here with no timeout left. But it's still, they're kicking on third down. It is still third down. Actually falling to personal foul. That should have been an automatic first down. But it doesn't really matter because there's no time left on the clock, so. Actually, you know what? That was an offensive penalty. The half should end. That's an offensive penalty. The half should be over.
The Upper St. Clair field hockey program will get their season underway next Tuesday at Quest Middle School at
and you know what? They didn't run the play. That's why. If they ran the play and it was an offensive penalty. So if it was the play wasn't going on, if the play was in action, it was an offensive penalty. Let's say they kicked the ball and there was a hold or an illegal shift or whatever, that then the half would have been over. But since the play wasn't run, it was a dead. You know, it was while they were setting up to run the play, they'll mark it off and then we're going to try to re-kick again. But why Upper St. Clair didn't try to run a play on third down when they still had time and was still 2 timeouts left, I don't know. Because they could have ran a play, let the clock run down if you don't get in, then call a timeout again, which still with 1.8 seconds. I don't know. We're just up here in the. So now Upper St. Clair is going to try a 25-yard field goal. High snap. Kick is up. And this one's good.
The kick is good. Upper St. Clair 3, Penn Hills 0. That comes to the end of the first half.
So Upper St. Clair kicks a 25-yarder with no time remaining after one half of play. Your score, Upper St. Clair 3, Penn Hills nothing. Back for second half action next. You are watching the Penn Hills Indians Football Network.
Kevin Christus, along with Mike Taylor. Noah Ditko is kicking off for the Indians.
Dipko to kick off for the Indians, who trail Upper St. Clair 3-0. Upper St. Clair kicking a field goal with no time remaining to go in half number one. Now we're underway here in half number two. Dipko's kickoff going to the 5-yard line, picked up by the Upper St. Clair Panthers. Have a nice return across the 40-yard line. It'll be Dipko on the tackle after a nifty return by Blade Kadar. Daryl Mason also in on the tackle for the Indians. And Upper St. Clair will start in great field position at their own 43-yard line.
Daryl Mason, along with Noah Ditko.
Not quite sure I know what the delay is here. Getting the right ball on the field. Bisman on the toss this way, pursued by Miles Eanes, who will make the tackle again after a pickup of 2.
Second down.
Bisman toss left. Eanes again in pursuit. Eanes again with the tackle after a pickup of 1. Yeah, Miles.
Brought down by Miles Eanes.
You know, it's great to see a lot of these kids coming out here making a difference on the team and making the plays are kids that came up through the midget system. Seeing these kids play since they were 6, 7 years old. Now they're up here at this level and making an impact. Injury timeout on the field. 10:56 to go, third quarter. Upper St. Clair 3, Penn Hills nothing. You're watching the Penn Hills Indians Football Network. Following the injury timeout, we're back to third down and 8, but now it's going to be third down and 2 as the Indians lined up off sides. Look like Jason Alston. So now it'll be third and 2. Penn Hills folks in attendance not liking the call, but see it clearly from up here. He just lined right up, right over the ball. Upper St. Clair will throw to nobody, really. Fortunately, they had a man generally in the area. And it brings up a fourth down. Clock stops with 10:21 to go here in the third. St. Clair gets the kick away. Indians will let it hit at the 10-yard line. Takes a Penn Hills bounce, more or less an Upper St. Clair bounce because it goes dead at the 15 instead of going into the end zone. And the Indians will take over there with 10:10 to go here in the third. Going to start at their own 14-yard line. Penn Hill's take it up the middle. Get maybe a yard. It's Emil Frazier.
Left on by number 1. Jay Miller. And Von Fingal also in that spot.
And another injured Upper St. Clair Panther. Mathis looking for a lane. Now it's about the 19-yard line to pick up a 4. And the Indians looking at a 3rd and 5. And a penalty flag in the backfield.
Brought down by Ryan Harkleroad. Penalty on the hold on the right. About half the distance to the ball. 2nd down.
Wow, holding call against the Indians will negate the play.
2nd down, Indians.
Move them back to the 6-yard line. Kisner keeps it himself. Doesn't fool anybody. And gets maybe a yard.
Stopped by Eli Drake.
And there's an injured Indian on the field, and it's Kisner. 9:09 to go, 3rd quarter. Upper St. Clair 3, Penn Hills nothing. You're watching the Penn Hills Indians Football Network. Trant in at quarterback for the Indians. Rolls to his right, throws the ball downfield. Has a man. Mathis with the reception at the 22-yard line. He'll be short of the 1st down.
Blake Mathis made the catch.
4th down now for the Indians. Dibko will drop back to punt.
Noah Dibko back to punt. Kevin Chris is deep for the Panthers.
Dibko short kick. Takes an Upper St. Clair bounce, and Indians will down it at the 50-yard line.
Ball down by Penn Hills on the 50-yard line.
Upper St. Clair will take over with 8:03 to go in the 3rd quarter. The ball to midfield stripe. And now Miles Eanes is down. Great. 8:03 to go, 3rd quarter. Indians trailing by 3. You're watching the Penn Hills Indians Football Network. They said it wasn't enough. Apparently it is. Upper St. Clair to throw. Down the sideline, left side to pass. Oh, my. And ruled incomplete, almost picked off by Jeremy Hamilton. And now another cramp.
Jackson Geisler's pass intended for Doug Wagner is incomplete.
Azarius Britz on the field with the cramp. So we'll take a timeout here. 7:55 to go. Still 3-0 Upper St. Clair. We're watching the Penn Hills Indians Football Network. Second down and 10 for the Panthers. Good signs for the Indians. Billy Kisner in on defense for the Indians. Bisman up the middle with a hole. Pounds his way ahead to the 40-yard line. We'll have a first down for Upper St. Clair.
Bisman carries. Passes the ball down to the Penn Hills 40-yard line, where he was brought down by Cameron Jeffries. Also on the spot, Clair Blue. First down, Upper St. Clair.
And around. Upper St. Clair has a big hole left side. They'll fight their way ahead for another first down. Will they mark them at the 30-yard line? Yes, they will. In fact, they'll pick up 11 yards down to the 39.
Run down by Cameron Jeffries along with Miles Eames.
Upper St. Clair just pounding their way ahead. Down to the 20-yard line with a pickup of 9. Blake Kadar.
Rick Squires made that stop. Second and 1 for the Panthers.
Chris is again inside the 10. First and goal, Panthers at the 5-yard line. Kadar brought down by Emil Frazier.
Brought down by Gene Robinson. First and goal for Upper St.
Gene Robinson with the tackle. Kadar again down to the 1-yard line.
Blake Kadar takes the ball down to about the 2-yard line.
Tyler Blue with the tackle.
It is brought down by Tyler Blue and A.Z. Britt. Second and goal.
Second and goal, Panthers. Clock approaching 5 minutes and running here in the third quarter. I haven't seen Visman in there. I wonder if Visman got hurt. Of course, St. Clair runs a little waggle. But Kadar this time will run straight into the arms of Thomas Mitchell. He'll lose 2. And it'll be third and goal from the 5.
Third down for the Panthers.
I think Upper St. Clair is going to talk this one over.
Timeout, Upper St. Clair.
Timeout on the field. Upper St. Clair uses their first of the half. 4:25 to go here, third quarter. Upper St. Clair 3, Penn Hills nothing. Panthers knocking on the door. You're watching the Indians Football Network. Third and goal, Panthers. Vitzman, left side, look for somewhere to go. Has a lane to the outside. Fights his way ahead. Touchdown, Upper St. Clair. So the Panthers go 50 yards in 8 plays, 2 up, 3 minutes and 47 seconds. Now have a 9-0 lead over the Indians. Kick is up and good. 4:16 to go, third quarter. Upper St. Clair 10. Penn Hills nothing. You're watching the Penn Hills Indians Football Network. Panthers kicking off. Line drive kick deep. Taken at the 2-yard line. Kisner looking for somewhere to go. Slides across the 25 down to the 26-yard line.
To the Penn Hills 26-yard line. And brought down by Jack Ansberry. First and 10 for the Indians.
Indians need to get some offense going here. Snap high, Kisner bobbles it, hauls it back in, looks for somewhere to go. Can he throw it? Throws it towards the sideline this way. Nice play by Kisner just to get rid of it. Had Squires in the general area.
Second down.
Kisner hit as he throws, launches one downfield, overthrows everybody. But Kisner got leveled. Once again, Gunnar Lund comes in untouched on the outside blitz.
Defending for Upper St. Clair brings up a 3rd and 10.
Pardon me. Third and 10 for the Indians. Kisner swing pass right side, and the ball a little bit behind, but still a forward pass. Tim Smith unable to come up with it, and Kisner takes another beating. Indians need to do something to put somebody over on Gunnar Lund because he keeps coming in off that left side unmolested and just smacking Kisner from the blind side.
Dominic Sapullo along with Ron Folino. 4th down, Penn Hills. Noah Pitko at the punt. Kevin Chris is deep for the Panthers.
Dipko with a nice kick. Fair catch called for and dropped, but fallen upon by the Upper St. Clair Panthers at their own 36-yard line. So Upper St. Clair will take over with 3:34 to go here in the third quarter. Ball at their own 36-yard line. And the Panthers have a 10-point lead. Upper St. Clair just pounds up the middle. Indians starting to grab for the football, not making the tackle. 12-yard carry for Dom Felino.
Brought down by Tyler Blue and Rick Squires.
Another big hole and another nice run by the Panthers. Another first down. Kadar again.
11 yards and a first down for the Panthers. Stopped by Miles Eames.
Guard again. This time the Indians wrap him up.
Mike Kadar again carries.
Jordan Henderson
Brought down by Donovan Baines.
with the tackle.
Jordan Henderson.
St. Clair sets up the throw, nowhere to go, so Jackson Geisler will keep it himself. He'll go out at the 32-yard line. Picks up 9. Holloway forces him out, and it'll be 2nd and 1. Visman, we got a first down to the 27-yard line.
Rick Squires making that tackle.
The first down, and there's an injured Indian on the field. 1:38 to go, third quarter. Upper St. Clair 10, Penn Hills nothing. You're watching the Penn Hills Indians Football Network. St. Clair rolls out, throws near side, pass complete underneath.
Jackson
Geisler's pass off to Kadar. They pick up about 5 on the play. I think if you're Upper St. Clair, you're looking to try to wind this down and score down to our left here. You know, take this into the fourth quarter. Oh my, Felino, big hole up the middle. First and goal, Upper St. Clair at the 8-yard line.
The 8-yard line and a first down for Upper St. Clair.
14 yards, first and goal, Upper St. Clair.
Stopped by AZ.
And I think Foligno may have hurt himself there. He did. 41.3 seconds to go in the third quarter. We'll take a quick timeout. Upper St. Clair 10, Penn Hills nothing. Panthers knocking on the door. You're watching the Penn Hills Indians Football Network. Upper St. Clair on a first and goal. Visman, left side.
Visman advances the ball down about the 6 or 7 yard line.
We'll pick up about 3 yards. And Upper St. Clair will let the third quarter wind down. And they'll take this to the fourth. After 3, Upper St. Clair 10, Penn Hills nothing. Upper St. Clair knocking on the door. You're watching the Penn Hills Indians Football Network. Fourth quarter about to get underway. Panthers second and goal at the 6-yard line. And the Panthers will be sacked back at the 20. Upper St. Clair trying to be too cute by half. Gunnar Lund sacked. Back at the 20.
Jackson Geisler brought down.
Geisler sacked at the 22. Now fourth and goal.
Stop made by Jordan Henderson.
Geisler tries to keep it himself, and it'll be brought down by Dipko at the 25-yard line. Indians take over. Indians dodge one there, stay in the game, take over with 10-11 to go at their own 25.
Frazier on the carry.
Frazier for, call it no gain.
Eli Grape and Blake Keeler in on the stop for Penn.
Kisner. Pass picked off at 6 for Upper St. Clair.
His pass intercepted by Dominic Seculo in the score for Upper St. Clair.
Upper St. Clair extends the lead. Touchdown coming with 9:30 to go.
Clair Raider will attempt the extra point. Kevin Chris is on the hold. Kick is good, making the score.
Kick up and good. The score, Upper St. Clair 17, Penn Hills nothing. You're watching the Penn Hills Indians Football Network. Kisner and Mathis back for the Indians. This one will bounce at the 20-yard line, picked up by Kisner at the 12. Looks for somewhere to go and has nowhere to go, and Kisner will be brought down at the 15-yard line. Now the Indians have a big hill to climb here. Indians will need 3 scores while trying to keep Upper St. Clair off the board. Smith with the carry for the Indians. Oh, it's 2nd down and 4. Kisner will keep it. Fakes the pass, tucks it up, starts running. Gets a nice block behind from Smith. Kisner across the 45. They're going to mark him right at the 50-yard line. 28-yard run for Kisner. And a first down for the Indians. Grant in for the Indians at quarterback. Stands in the pocket, throws downfield, has Squires. Squires runs over a Panther. Picks up 9 yards. Blake Kadar, the recipient of that hit. But it's 9 yards for Squires, and Cameron Trent stays in at quarterback for the Indians. And Trent will be sacked by Visman back at the 48-yard line. They'll lose 11.
Loss of 11 yards, 3rd down and 12 for Penn.
Grant rolls right, throws, hits Squires, who's clotheslined at the 44-yard line. That should have been a flag. Kisner back in a quarterback for the Indians. He'll keep it himself and be brought down from behind. He'll lose 4 yards. And the Indians will turn the ball over on downs with 6:45 to go. Ball will be at their own 48-yard line. Panthers with the first down at their own 48-yard line following the Indians' turnover on downs. Felino runs into Squires. Still carries Indians ahead for about 5 yards. Think the Panthers are going to throw the ball? No.
For Upper St. Clair. Miles Eanes and Rick Squires on stop for Penn Hills.
I'll tell you, defensively tonight, Miles Eanes has played one whale of a football game for the Indians. So is Donovan Baines. Inspired defense by Darryl Holloway, dropping Kevin Chrissis for loss back at the 47-yard line for a loss of 6. And it'll be 3rd down and 11. And I still don't expect Upper St. Clair to throw the ball. They're going to run a play clock all the way down and run it again. If the Indians get the ball back, there'll be less than 5 minutes to play, down by 17. Christis, toss to the right side, looking for somewhere to go, getting some blockers. Henderson will drop him after a pickup of 3. And it'll be 4th down for Upper St. Clair. They might just take the delay of game. Oh, the Indians call a timeout. 4:53 to go, 4th quarter. Upper St. Clair 17, Penn Hills nothing. You are watching the Penn Hills Indians Football Network. Following the timeout, Upper St. Clair sets up to punt. Indians bring the rush. And Upper St. Clair will down it at the 16-yard line. Kisner looking, throws downfield. Too far for Mathis. Had a hand on him, nothing called.
Intended for Malik Mathis, incomplete. Kevin Christis on the cover.
Kind of having more fun watching the cheerleaders dance. And that's because my daughter made the varsity squad as a freshman. Okay, I can brag. Timeout on the field, 4:37 to go here in the 4th. Indians use their second of 3 timeouts. They still trail 17-0. You're watching the Penn Hills Indians Football Network. Kisner launching one downfield. Julian Major unable to hold on to it. Oh, my. I'll tell you what, he's played. They would have had the heck of a catch down by the goal line in the first half. Julian Major will be a force to be reckoned with.
Kisner on the carry for the Indians.
Kisner ahead for about 5. I'll bring up a 4th and 5.
Josh Schmidt on the stop for the Panthers.
Dipko will drop back to punt as the clock runs under 4 minutes.
Noah Dipko back to punt. Kevin Chris is back to receive the Penn.
They fake it to Tarrant.
Terrell on the handoff. Every run on the stop for Penn.
And Upper St. Clair takes over at the 15-yard line.
In the fourth quarter, Central Catholic 14, Bethel Park 6.
Surprisingly tight score for Central Catholic with Bethel Park. Power formation for Upper St. Clair. Visman, right side, has a hole inside the 10. Carries Indians to the 6-yard line. For a pickup of 9.
Rick Squires on the stop. It'll be 2nd and 1.
Kadar loses the football, but he falls on it himself at the 7-yard line. Will lose a yard.
Malik Menard on the stop for Penn Hill.
Malik Menard there to make sure he doesn't go anywhere. Of course, once you're down on the field, you can't get back up again. Kadar again. It's a nice block, but only able to get down to the 5-yard line. We'll pick up 2. It'll be 4th down and about a yard. In fact, it'll be 4th in inches. Why isn't the play clock running? Took a long time to start that play clock. Clock rolling under a minute and a half to go. Quarterback sneak will get the first down. Upper St. Clair will have a 1st and goal with 1:25 to go here in the fourth quarter. See if Upper St. Clair runs plays or starts the victory formation. Upper St. Clair drives ahead. Kadar down to the 1-yard line.
Miles Eanes again on the stop for the Indians.
Miles Eanes with another tackle. "35 seconds ago. I think Upper St. Clair, they're going to run. I think they're probably taking a knee here. Geisler watching the play clock wind down. Loses a snap. Loses a handle on it. Falls on it. And I believe Upper St. Clair will just let the clock wind down. And this one will mercifully come to an end. That's your final score. Upper St. Clair 17,
Friday.
Penn Hills nothing.
Kickoff will be at
Not a lot of highlights to talk about with the Indians tonight.
all of the Upper St. Clair athletes. Good luck.
Indians played well defensively, only giving up 10 points to the Panthers on offense. The Panther defense returning an interception. It was 10-0 at the half. 3-0 at halftime. Panthers score 7 in the third, 7 in the fourth. The final 17-0. The Indians seemed like it came out flat from the start and just really couldn't get into a rhythm in this game. And it really showed. And Upper St. Clair took advantage. And the Indians will start the season 0-1. Only good news for the Indians, Cannon McMillan comes to town next week in a game that the Indians should win, but if they come out flat like they did today, it will be no guarantee, but the Indians in 2 weeks will have Central Valley coming in. So the Indians need to get things straightened out and get things straightened out quickly. Indians drop to 0-1 overall and in the conference. Upper St. Clair now 1-0 overall and 1-0 in the conference. Special thanks to our camera guy, Bernard Mathis. I'm Bill Navari. We'll see you next week. Again, the final score, Upper St. Clair 17, Penn Hills nothing. Thank you for watching the Penn Hills Indians Football Network.